What's up, guys? I'm Benji,
And I'm Miles.
and you're tuned in to The Proper Fit.
Yes, people. So, in this episode, our topic is how to find your perfect PT.
Going to be interesting. I'm also going to bring you a tune of the time, one that we're enjoying right now.
We go straight into our Q&A section. It's back again. We also call this Fitness Whispers.
Fitness Whispers. Love it. And as always, we bring you our trouble-making section, the Uncle Benj section, where you give me a scenario and I do my best to answer it with any advice that I have.
We officially have changed the name. It's no longer Uncle Benj.
It's trouble.
And to finish off, guys, our PFT for this episode, our proper fit tip.
Awesome. Good show in store for you. So, you're tuned in to The Proper Fit. So, Miles, the topic for this episode is how to find your perfect PT. And for those of
Oh
you
boy.
that don't know what the abbreviation is, it's personal trainer. And I think we can extend this to not necessarily people just looking for a personal trainer, but also a fitness instructor, someone that you can do classes or group workouts, online workouts with. So
Sure,
not
sure.
just specifically down to just that one-to-one training, but how to find the best trainer.
Yes. So I have a an interesting take when it comes to looking for a personal trainer. It's I think it's really important that you do approach a PT slash client relationship like a romantic relationship to a point.
Okay.
You don't need to be looking to see if your personal trainer is dating material. You don't need to be seeing if they're attracted. You don't need to figure out if they're attracted to you or if they earn a certain amount of money and all of this. That's not important. That's not important. I'm just saying. In other respects, you need to figure out the questions are quite similar. You're thinking about what you're looking for in your personal trainer. What traits would you like them to have? What traits do you have or do they have that you think will work well when you are working together? Because at the end of the day, it is still a relationship. It's more of a friendship than a relationship, but you have to have some kind of synergy when you are working together, because there'll be times when you're working out and it's going to be a ball ache. Sessions aren't always going to be a breeze. There are going to be times where you might want to butt heads, but at the end of the day, if you got someone that's driving you crazy every single session, you know what I mean. You've got to have someone there that can push you through in the right way. So,
Like, yeah,
trade this carefully, innit?
I love the analogy, but there's just so many like different innuendos. Like, because it sounded like you were suggesting we need a Tinder for personal trainers where you can like swipe left and right to find your perfect one,
Aye,
and then we
all I'm saying
also
is that would be amazing. We need to get on
and
that
yeah,
right now.
then I mean then. On top of that, you would also be able to find out whether someone's going to make your balls ache or not. Is what I was picking up from what you what you So basically, Miles said to find your perfect personal trainer, you want someone that's not going to make your balls ache and someone that's going to be good to be in a relationship with.
Benji, this a family show. This a family show, man.
No, but you make some very
Basically
good.
that.
You make some very very good points.
Honestly,
Um,
I know it's an abstract way of thinking, but I mean, just think
yeah,
about it. Like, you've got someone that is stressing you out every day, screaming
yeah,
at you,
yeah.
get through a session. For someone, that's the perfect PT, because they do need that dogmatic approach. They need someone that's just gonna bite their head off and
Yeah.
really get them and beast them, basically. And that is not. I think that's an interpretation of a personal trainer that is quite widespread, but isn't the, it's not the true
Isn't the
form of a
norm.
personal trainer.
Yeah,
Exactly,
exactly.
like
Yeah.
the true form of a personal trainer, or at least the, I'd say the more industry standard interpretation is someone who is understanding, someone who can push you through um, when the time is right. Someone that's
Hmm.
also trying to teach you a few things and keep you engaged the whole way through.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And I think
it's
an extension of, some of that as well, a really key thing is authenticity. I
mhm,
think, like you say, there is an industry standard kind of perspective on what a personal trainer is. And
yeah,
you'll find that there are lots of people actually that are inspired to become personal trainers because of that almost stereotypical view of a personal trainer.
mm,
So people
mhm,
typically believe that because I like going to the gym and I like fitness, I could be a personal trainer. And
yeah,
people usually arrive at that thought, um, sort of after seeing a poor personal trainer. Because if
mm,
you see a really holistic, really good, credible personal trainer, what you'll actually see is a lot of hard work. You'll
mm,
see them supporting a lot of people. You'll see them interacting with and engaging a variety of types of people, ages, genders,
mhm,
shapes, sizes, you know? And actually that's
mhm,
quite a difficult job. I guess the role of the personal trainer has sort of evolved over the last, I would say, 5 years maybe. And it's gone from being that old stereotypical view of having someone that goes, "Yeah, go on, get it, Mary," and then high five at the end or smacking your bum after you've done a set. Like it's gone from that, and it's now become about someone that can really understand how to get the best out of you.
yeah,
And that, in many respects, is almost very similar to having, yes, a very good friend, or maybe even a mentor, or
mm,
a counselor, and not to
mm,
trivialize any of those roles, but just to highlight the synergy between them, whereby you have someone that
mm,
really has to take the time to understand you, what motivates you, and what can get you performing at your optimum level consistently. That's
mhm,
really important. I guess qualifications and credentials are vital as well when looking for a personal trainer. Don't be afraid to ask somebody if they have the relevant qualifications to do for you what you're looking for, what you require. I see a lot of people in a variety of roles, including, like we spoke about in the last episode, celebrities doing fitness
mm.
workouts. They don't have the credentials to teach you how to safely do fitness.
This is where it can get very, very tough. And I think this is where we need a little bit more definition when it comes to the fitness industry. We need something that governs almost the levels of different trainers, because
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it can be very easy to become a base level trainer.
yeah,
But what gets tough is the fact that you've got trainers out there who are going in and they're continuing their personal development. They're doing their CPD courses, every 6 months or every year or so. But there's nothing out there showing people that, hey, this person has now achieved this. This person has now
yeah.
progressed in this way.
And so I guess one of the kind of final things that you want to look at is what is their angle? Like, what is that trainer's angle? Where are they coming from? What do they truly believe in? What are they truly trying to achieve? Are they somebody that, I don't know, you know, 2 days ago was trying to set up another business, selling
Mm.
balloons, and now they're a personal trainer? Like genuinely, like, no, but everybody's got to make a living. But I think because it's become so easy to get into the fitness industry, there are a lot of jokers.
Yeah.
Sorry to excuse the pun, balloons, but there are a lot of kind of jokers and clowns out there that ultimately, yeah, last week they were selling balloons and selling parties, and this week they're a personal trainer. And I think it's
Yeah.
really important that you don't get sucked in by that, because one of the things that those trainers have to do is slash prices.
Mm.
um, they constantly say, you know, this is $5.99, but you can get it for $1.99.
Yeah.
It's all of the deals. It's all of the stuff that's kind of, when you, when you go into Asda, for example, and or sorry, a supermarket, for
Mm.
example, and you go to that aisle at the back, and they've got the meat that was really expensive, but now it says slash or swoosh or whatever, and it's got a completely
Right.
different
Right.
price,
Right.
and it's because it's out of date today. That's
Because it
why it's
dropped
so
on the
cheap.
floor a while ago. It dropped on the
Yeah,
floor, and now they're
exactly.
just
Yeah,
trying to
no
sell it off.
packaging. You got no packaging, just meat on the shelf.
Right. Right.
Whoops. But so they're still trying to sell you that product. They're not going to give it away for free. But
Mm.
the reason that the cost is so low is because it's not at the value that it should be or once was. So the product that you're getting is not the quality that you should be receiving.
Mhm.
And the recognition of that comes in the price of the product. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're all constantly looking for a bargain. But actually, a lot of the trainers out there that are a bargain have to be a bargain to get you to shop with them. And so if you took the analogy of Primark, for example, Primark is fantastic. Not that I've ever shopped there, but I don't want to get criticized or have my podcast shut down by them because they're much bigger than us. So we're just going to say Primark is fantastic. But I think everybody genuinely, universally will agree that Primark is fantastic in terms of getting something cheap that you're not bothered about ruining or maybe not having in 6 months' time.
Mm.
That's their market, right? That you're going on holiday. You don't want your best t-shirt. You don't want your best outfit. You want something that you can just roll up, put in a suitcase, and maybe even not bring back with you. And for that, Primark's fantastic. When it comes to fitness and your health, the benefits that you can get from being physically fitter, from being mentally in a better place, are worth investing in. You want to go to Harrods for that, not Primark.
Sure.
And that's the real key difference, and one of the real key things that you should be looking out for when looking for a personal trainer or fitness instructor.
Literally, the concluding message: you get what you pay for.
Yeah, totally. I guess that moves us on to our tune of the time. One that we're enjoying right now, not necessarily playing in our sessions this week, but this is called Lockdown, and it's by an artist called Anderson Paak.
You should have been downtown, but the people are rising. We thought it was a lockdown, but they opened the fire. Them bullets was flying. Who said it was a lockdown? Goddamn lie. Oh my, time heals all, but you.
I love that tune, Anderson
Clean,
Paak. Oh,
clean.
amazing artist. I've seen him a few times in concert. Absolutely amazing artist.
Actually, I was saying it. I was saying it just before we started this episode. This guy is an alien. Like,
Yeah.
no one should be able to play the drums like he plays and sing like he does at the same
Yep.
time. Like, yeah, special.
Unbelievable. I mean, I can play the drums and I can sing,
Yeah.
but if I was to do the two, I'd probably sound like the Cheeky Girls, or I don't know. Like, just not a good artist. In fact, you're going to tell me you don't know who the Cheeky Girls are, right?
Oh, come on, man.
Okay, it's all right. No, I had a lot of feedback on the Ricky Lake thing. People were like, Miles doesn't know who Ricky Lake is.
I remember Cheeky Girls. I remember, what's his name? Wagner. Was it Wagner?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was strange, man. That guy was
Do you remember Chica? Remember Chica?
Oh yeah, it's Chico all the time. Boy,
I genuinely know Chica. I
Oh.
genuinely know. Still speak to me.
Funny enough, I think he didn't live too far away from where I live. He lives in Greenwich. And the Cheeky Girls were like similar as well. They lived around South London or something.
I did not know that. Were they girls?
The Cheeky Girls?
Yeah. Were they actually girls?
Oh, what do you mean? What, you thought they were men?
Like, yeah.
Huh?
I don't know. Were they actually girls? I can't remember.
Wait. What?
I mean, it could be.
Right, it's 2020, so let's tread carefully.
Yeah.
No, I thought they were ladies. I thought they were females.
Okay.
Oh, you got me wondering now.
I don't know. If anybody can clarify for us, get in touch with us, and please let us know. So let's move on before we get into any more trouble. Onto Fitness Whispers.
Yes, indeed.
This is from Donna in Sutton Coldfield. Are there such thing as healthy snacks?
Oh, I like these kind of questions because I can just give out one of my short and sharp ones. My short and sharp answers. Yes, of course there is. But I think we have to determine what healthy means. This goes back to episode 3 about what's healthy for you, and in my opinion, you need to be eating in line with your goal. So if your goal is to lose some weight, if your goal is to reduce your body fat percentage and maintain some kind of muscle mass, so that you can achieve the defined look, the toned look, then that means that you need to go for low calorie foods.
Hmm.
So whatever your strategy is to lose that weight and to attain the toned look, you need to eat in line with that. For example, if you if your diet mainly consists of protein and fat, and you've decreased your carbs, because if you have too many carbs in your system, then it means that that's your body's preferred energy source. If you go and have more higher protein, higher fat foods, then just eat snacks that have high protein, high fat, less carbs. Simple as that. So of course there's healthy snacks, and we can go back to the standard healthy, which is eating fruit, eating vegetables, carrots and hummus and all this kind of good stuff. Of course, those
Yeah.
are healthy, but some people get quite bored of those quite quickly,
Hmm.
just because they are the standard. We need variety in our diet. For one, so that we can get the right amount of vitamins and minerals all the time, but for two, to just keep us motivated. So
Yeah.
healthy is a broad term, and
Yeah, yeah. I like the way you broadened that and you opened it up. And I
yeah,
think, I guess a way to categorize that would be to say healthy for you.
yes, absolutely,
So, because healthy for you and healthy for me might be two different things.
exactly,
So, if I'm trying to gain weight, a healthy snack might be something that's high in carbohydrate.
yes.
Whereas if I'm trying to lose weight, that wouldn't be considered necessarily a healthy snack,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm.
So, I guess the term is healthy for you.
100%.
And I guess just like you said in episode 3, it is about really understanding what is in the foods that you're eating, as opposed to
Yes.
finding a specific food to eat.
So we're talking about the PFT, the
Yeah.
proper fit tip. That was reading the label, figuring
Oh,
out exactly what's inside your foods. Be careful, because you can look at the advertising and think, "Oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what I need to be eating because it's in line with my goal." And then you turn around and you find out that the example that I used in episode 3 was, it was called a protein bite, but
yeah.
there was actually way more fat in it than there was protein. So it's actually a fat bite sprinkled with
Fat bite.
some protein on top. A fat bite. So yeah, just always read the label. Healthy. Make sure it's healthy for you, and make sure you're eating in line with your goal.
Awesome. Good times.
Splendid.
So
Oh,
that moves us on
that does move
to
us on.
Uncle Benj slash troublemaking.
We need to get. You know what? We need to get like a picture of you just in like some glasses, some bifocals. One of the, the grandpa, the granddad hat
I
on
get you.
top,
Yeah.
and we got a pipe on your right, on
And a
the right side
pipe.
of your
Yeah,
mouth.
pipe.
That's it. With a granddad cardigan and all of that. I think that works. Uncle Benj. Anyway,
I'm up for it.
Uncle Benj. The Uncle Benj section is an anonymous section where you guys have the opportunity to send in your dilemmas. You can let us know through social media, for our email, and we'll cover that at the end of the show. But without further ado, here is the dilemma. So it doesn't say. I just like to put it out there. I've not even read this yet, so this is going to be interesting. And it doesn't say at the top if it is if he or she is a female or a male. So let's see what it says. Here we go, Uncle Benj. During lockdown, my partner and I have tried to find new ways to keep things spiced up. Last Friday,
Okay.
we had a Zoom quiz with some friends and had a few drinks. Oh boy, drinks are involved. After the quiz, we decided to head to the kitchen and pretend it was a bar. He was the barman and I was a customer who had just come in for the quiz and got talking to him.
Oh, nice idea. I like that. I like
Listen, it feels like it's the start of a certain type of movie. Anyway, he was chatting me up and we flirted as if we just met. But he'd said some things when he was chatting me up that he's never said to me before. he described me. He described his ideal woman as having dark hair, but mine is red. He said he loves a woman. Hold on. He said he loves a woman with a big bum, and mine really isn't. I went along with it at the time, but haven't been intimate with him since, and can't shake
that.
the feeling that this is how he would talk if he was actually out on a night out. Ooh, what should I do? you know what? It started off quite
Oh,
humorous.
yeah, it started off really nice. I was thinking, man, relationship goals.
Yeah,
I was,
yeah. And you know, a
and
little
then
bit
I
of
was
flirting.
like, hmm.
We
Oh.
need a soundboard. We need a soundboard. This is gonna work. Yo, that's.
Schoolboy error. You made an absolute schoolboy error. Like how?
I
Like
think that's past schoolboy error. I think that's just dumb.
that's university grade errors. That is
Is
like,
it dumb? Like, why would you do that? That's your
oh man. You
girl.
know what? These are the dangers. These are the dangers of alcohol, ladies and gentlemen. The dangers of alcohol right here in this
That's
scenario.
the dangers of
Um.
stupidity. Nah,
Oh
I'm out.
man.
I'm out. Go ahead.
You know.
Go
You
ahead.
know what?
What?
Okay. Look. If I mean it says partner, so I'm presuming he's not your husband. So there's still time to get out. You can still get. You're not linked forever. You can get out. No. Oh, geez. I mean, you were drunk, and I think maybe you have to have a rule around kind of being drunk. Not too extreme. I mean, you can't say like that you look like Shrek whilst you're drunk, and then the next morning just be like, "Oh, I was joking." Like you can't go like to extremes. However, I feel like yeah, there has to be some allowances made for things that are said whilst you're drunk. If you were playing a scenario, if you were doing this role play kind of thing, then maybe he was just in character, and maybe he was trying to play the role of the character really well. You know,
Yeah,
maybe he's a really good actor. So give him the benefit of the doubt, and maybe ask him like, yeah, just ask him like, you know, when you said you like girls with really big bums, like, do you think I've got a big bum? Or even you could lead with the question, do you think I've got a big bum? You know, and then you'll get his honest response. He may even turn to you and say, you know, I think your bum's lovely. Yeah, it could have just been a drunken mistake. So maybe give him the benefit of the doubt. Um, yeah, and I mean, in terms of your hair color, I got no excuse for that one because that's a blatant one. Like, but maybe you could ask him if he would like you to change your hair color, or maybe you could show him some pictures in a magazine or a catalog of women with the hair color that he likes, and maybe test his reaction. And if he comes back and says like, you know,
do you know what? Though
I
I
like
don't know,
women that
but
look like this, then
I'm just gonna add. I'm just gonna add context to how she might be feeling because we can gather that this is probably a lady that's typed this in. I'd be feeling hot, like really hot. Like I'd be a little bit irritated. Like I'm looking at the guy thinking, has he actually just said that he wants a different woman instead of me now? That's I think that's the
but you're not you. You're not you. I mean, sorry, me and Miles are talking like we are the husband and what. Sorry, the man and woman here, but it's not. It's not you, is it? Because you were in that role play. It was a whole thing. You weren't even in a bar. You were in a kitchen.
so
So
the argument is
it's not
it's
real.
all in the realms of
It,
play, so to speak.
it's all contextual. Like
Boy.
that's what I've sold the guys out on the last in episode
Trying to help
6.
him out now.
I sold the guys out, so I've got I had a lot of feedback from the guys, and yeah, I think it's important to make sure that I'm looking after the brothers in this episode. So yeah, 100%. I think give him the benefit of the doubt, please. Like it was
So
in
it's
role.
basically all in the realms of play,
Yeah,
and
he's just.
it's
In
got
fact, you
like
want to commend him. You want to commend him because he has taken on the role fully and played it for your entertainment. So you got to say thank you. Yeah, give him
interesting.
the benefit of the doubt. Give him the benefit of
So
the
then, how do we go?
doubt.
Do you know what? We can get semi-serious though, and then just talk about the next part because they haven't been intimate since, and she can't shake the feeling. So you know,
Yeah, I
what's the
think
next steps?
on a serious note, like you obviously want to address that, and
Yeah,
want to address it quite quickly, because that could then become a slippery slope, right? So
Mm.
I think all jokes aside in this scenario, if you want the real advice, I mean, you can switch off, you can skip forward to the PFT if you want. But if you want the real advice on this one, I think it's probably always important to discuss those grey areas, those feelings with your partner.
sure.
Um, You know, I can think of many examples in relationships I've had where I may have felt things that I didn't say or didn't feel able to say. And ultimately, they were probably the start of the end of those relationships.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's probably important. I know this is about a scenario that's a bit of a joke, but I guess it's probably important to really address some of those things with your partner if you're feeling that way. You know, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect, and I wouldn't expect my partner to be perfect either. So I think we all need to come from that standing point that we can get some things wrong. We can say things wrong that aren't intentionally to hurt other people, but may hurt your feelings. And I guess the way a man works and a woman works are very different. And I think it's key to try and make those differences as small as possible so that we can have those discussions and kind of maintain, you know, a good and healthy relationship through the art of dialogue.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. So the concluding point is, Uncle Benj says, talk it out. Talk it out.
Talk it out. Talk it out.
Can
That
we
got really serious this week.
It had to. It had to. Man. It was
Had
funny,
to.
but I guess sometimes you
Indeed.
just got to give them some inspiration, some idea.
Some realness.
Yeah.
And that, I guess, moves us on to the realness, the proper fit tip for this episode. So, Miles,
Oh yes.
what is our proper fit tip?
Action means accountability.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Cool. So it relates to our topic. We all work better when we can be held responsible for our actions. In many different respects. You know, like if you're late to work, you know, you're going to get in a bit of trouble. But at the same time, because you're not late, you can get on with a little bit more work and crack on with the day and actually be quite productive. If you know you don't like going to the gym and you know you don't work very hard, then more often than not, it's probably a good idea to get a personal trainer if you can afford it, because they will keep pushing you and they will give you direction. And, you know, you're going to have a hype man, so to speak, to keep you going and get you to the most fit you can ever be. So, you know, responsibility, being held responsible is very important. But whether it comes from within, from a friend, or you know, from anywhere that's supportive in some respect, we need it. It truly keeps us on the straight and narrow. So find a way to be accountable for your actions. It might be from someone, it might be from a system you set up. Another example is, you know, creating reminders in your phone to let you know when you should be going to the gym. And, you know, deep down, if you are creating these reminders, then you know that you, when you are creating these reminders, you know that if you don't go to the gym, you've kind of let yourself down. So there's another example of accountability. Many different examples. We could go into it, but just hold yourself accountable in some respect.
Yeah, I guess an example of that is a real life example, actually. A girl, Prina, she's been going to the gym for years, and she messaged into us to say that after doing 12 weeks of our online workouts, that she's achieved results that she's never achieved in like 5 years of going to the gym.
Yeah.
And the simple difference was that she took on board some fitness instructors, you know, and threw herself into regularly working out, getting her sessions booked online on the system that sends you an email and now sends you a text to remind you your workout is at this point. And I guess that feeds completely into what you're saying in terms of just having that real structure and that level of accountability to someone that just keeps you engaged and wanting to work out. So
on that, I mean, you just got to know what your strengths and weaknesses are as well. Like, I think a lot of people almost sell themselves down the river before they've barely started, by, you know, trying to go it alone, when in actual fact they need a little bit of help. And there's no shame in having someone there just to tell you where to go. It's still your journey. You've just now got a guide. And when you have a guide, they're always gonna show you the right path.
Your personal sat nav through fitness.
Ooh, like that little GPS.
So that concludes everything for this episode. If you love what you've heard, then you can head to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review, leave us a rating. If you love it, send it on to a friend. If you don't, maybe advise them to listen to another podcast instead. Other ways that you can get in touch with us are via the email, theproperfitpodcast@gmail.com, or
you can hit us up on Instagram with the handle Core Attack, spelled Coreattack. And we also have created a Facebook page. Just search in the Proper Fit Podcast in Facebook and you'll come across our Facebook page to keep updated on what we're doing.
Fantastic. So, all it remains to say is I'm Benji.
And I'm Miles.
And you've been tuned in to The Proper Fit.